It says danger, submerged items below. Hey guys, this is Matt with 2 Feet Outdoors YouTube channel. Today, I'm in Hunts Point in the Bronx, New York City, and I'm headed out kayaking. I'm headed out kayaking to the Vernon C. Bain Correctional Center. This barge and correctional center was decommissioned in 2023. I think it's going to be really amazing to see this facility from the East River. All right, let's go ahead and get this kayak set up. All right, and we're paddling. All right, guys, we are leaving Hunts Point, and a large boat just came by and left a fairly big wake. So we're going to contend with its wake right now. And we are headed to the Vernon C. Bain Correctional Center. This is an 800-bed jail barge used to hold inmates for the New York City Department of Corrections. It's across from Rikers Island on the Hunts Point side of the Bronx. You can actually see Rikers Island straight ahead of us on the other side of the East River. As I turn to the right here, the Vernon C. Bain Correctional Center will come into sight. That's straight ahead, white and blue. This barge was built in Louisiana for $161 million. It operated from 1992 to 2023 to help with overcrowding on Rikers Island. This jail facility housed medium to high security inmates in 16 dormitories and 100 jail cells. Off to my left, there's a New York City ferry cruising by. They usually kick off a pretty good wake, so we'll contend with his wake as the wake gets closer. Off to the right here, you can see a green caution sign indicating wet weather discharge point. So that's basically a combined sewer overflow, and during rain events, raw sewage will flow from that point. And we are directly behind the Vernon C. Bain Correctional Center in New York, New York. It's incredible to think that $161 million was used to build this barge. And now, recently, in the news, they're talking about moving this barge to create a shipping center over here. And like I said, this barge is no longer in use. So it's basically sitting here abandoned. You can see on the corner, each corner has security cameras. I can see spotlights all around it. Let me turn into these waves here. It's getting a little choppy all of a sudden. There we go. If you guys aren't familiar with the East River can be very sketchy. So way off in the distance, straight ahead is the New York City skyline. To the left is Rikers Island. And straight ahead, way off in the distance, is North Brother Island. If you guys follow my channel, you know I've been to North Brother Island several times. But I wanted to come and see this correctional barge before they move it and before they destroy it. I'm really curious to see what they plan on doing with it. The news recently said that they plan on moving it. I don't know what that is actually going to entail, but it's no longer in use and it's just sitting here. That is such a huge waste of money. $161 million right here to our right, and it's vacant right now. So I'm kind of curious whether or not we can approach it on the opposite side, on the land, on foot, or if this is the only way we can access it right here on the East River. This correctional center has been nicknamed the Boat by inmates and also by staff. You can see razor wire up there, fence line. There's a yard straight ahead with multiple layers of razor wire. And again, up here on each corner are security cameras and spotlights. Here's some walkway that's covered that gets you from the boat to the yard over here. So like I said, this was recently in the news. I find it very interesting, so I wanted to come out here and check it out. A lot of people don't know that things like this exist in New York City. You can see way up on the top, there's some kind of yard up there as like an outdoors area. And there is just layers upon layers of razor wire. So right here is the area between the barge and the land. So we're gonna cruise by here and check this out real quick. Just gonna squeeze through here. All right, so let's paddle between the barge and the land and check this place out. I'm sure this barge isn't moving or going anywhere. This is really interesting. You can see that there's like plumbing lines going towards the main part of the barge. You know, I'm sure there's all kinds of power lines, septic, you name it. I'm gonna need to see if we can get through over here straight ahead. If not, we'll just turn around and go back the other way. Well, it's kind of tight straight ahead through here. I'm gonna see if we can squeeze through and get to the other side. We're gonna lift these lines up, squeeze through here. All right, look at that, we made it. See, this is interesting on this side because the way it's fenced off, you can't walk around to get on the property. But on the other side, it looked like you might be able to. I'm gonna spin around right here. I want to take a closer look at this. But yeah, over here, clearly you can't get onto the property. Obviously, there's no signs or anything saying no trespassing. But there is a fence with razor wire. I want to go check out the other side again. You know what? Rather than cut through this side, I'm going to go on the outside of it. You can just hear the water slapping up against the hull. One bit of information that I haven't seen was the number of jail personnel that it takes to operate this facility around the clock. I imagine it takes quite a few, considering it housed 800 people, 16 dormitories, and 100 cells. Kind of curious if anyone's monitoring these cameras, considering this facility is no longer operating. Alright, I'm gonna paddle back same direction we were before, but it looks to me like there's a bit of land over here that maybe I can pull the kayak out of the water down on the left, and we can go for a little walk around here and check it out a little closer. There are no signs that say no trespassing. There are no signs that say off limits. And obviously we're not going to go into the fence line area. We're just going to stay on the outside of the facility. So I think we're going to try to check that out. Straight ahead, we'll see if we can land the kayak. All right, let's go ahead and land the kayak on the shoreline here. All right, let's walk through and see how close we can get to this barge. All right, we're just walking along the shoreline here, along the fence line. So you can see the jail facility inside here. We are on the outside of it along the East River. I see 4 or 5 cars in the parking lot. There's a very large parking lot to my left. And you can kind of see right here, there's 2 layers of fence before the parking lot. All right, so we're getting closer. Just walking through here, see if we can get all the way around. Yeah, nothing's blocked off right here. And I haven't seen any signs that say no trespassing. So this area right here looks like the fence is open to get between the 2 fence lines. There's a sign on the stairs over there that says official business. Vernon C. Bain, Department of Correction, the City of New York. This part of the gate is open. These are those plumbing pipes, etc., that we paddled under just before. This is really cool, guys. Let's walk through under here. Here's an open door. Looks like generators and stuff. I'm not going to go in there. To me, that's taking it a step too far. So I'm not going inside the property there. I just got over a bunch of poison ivy. So I'm not really trying to get poison ivy again. We'll just walk to this corner and then turn back around. You can see this fenced area and razor wire that I pointed out before. It's pretty incredible. All right, I'm gonna walk back to where my kayak was pulled out of the water, and we'll continue this journey. On the other side here, there is another open door. I'll just point that out real quick. You can see right here. I'm not gonna go in. All right, and we are back out on the water. Man, I tell you guys, you can see how massive this jail barge is. It's incredible to think that it's no longer in use and there's no plan to use it moving forward. And you think about those millions and millions of dollars that were spent that was just temporary. I tell you, it's really cool to be paddling and to know that I've been to so many of these places on the East River, like North Brother Island, South Brother Island. Barretto Point Park is right around the corner here. And it's really incredible how large Riker's Island is. I'd like to paddle around Riker's Island, but on the side where it's close to LaGuardia Airport, you can't continue all the way around. It's a restricted area over there. That bridge way off in the distance ahead of us is the Whitestone Bridge, and just beyond it is the Throgs Neck Bridge. Way off to the right is a tugboat pulling what looks to be a couple barges. Got some rollers passing here right now. Had a couple large vessels come by. This is pretty interesting right here. It says danger, submerged items below. Wonder if we can cruise through there. We'll give it a shot. Cormorant right here to the right. All right, looks like we made it. I want to thank you guys so much for the massive amount of support that you've shown regarding that New Jersey trespassing complaint. There's going to be a probable cause hearing in the future. At the time of this video, I don't have the date, but once again, I want to thank you guys for watching 2 Feet Outdoors YouTube channel. I hope you enjoyed this video. I certainly did, and we'll see you guys on the next one.